Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. So we have finished with the first chapter for second term, that is reflection of light. Now we may move on to the next chapter, that is chapter 12, study of sound. Okay, the first question, page number 128. How does the velocity of sound depends on its frequency? I will explain it later. How is the direction of oscillation of particles of the medium related to the direction of propagation of the sound wave? This also we will discuss in these two terms, that is longitudinal waves and transverse waves. Basically, there are particles in the atmosphere. They are having a vibrational motion. Which type of motion? It is vibrational motion. Either they are moving in horizontally, they are vibrating horizontally. It is also said to be oscillation. Okay, it is oscillating horizontally, or it is oscillating vertically. Okay, so sound is a wave. Okay, sound is a wave which travel in the form of vibrations. First statement is the definition of sound. Sound is a form of energy which creates the sensation of hearing in our ears. Okay, so sound is a form of energy which creates a sensation of hearing in our ears. In the last chapter we studied about what is light. This is what is sound. Okay, now sound requires a medium to travel. Now what do you mean by a medium? A medium means a particular gas in the atmosphere, or a particular solid, or it could be a particular liquid. Okay, solid, liquid or gas, as matter is required, that is said to be a medium. Okay, so in case of when we are talking to each other, then what is the medium in between us? The medium is air. Okay, so air is atmosphere, it is having gases, it is having particles in it, so there should be a medium for traveling of sound. Sound requires a medium to travel. If there is no medium, sound does not travel. For example, if there are two astronauts on the surface of moon, they cannot directly talk. Why they cannot directly talk? Because the sound which is produced by one person cannot reach the other person, because the energy is not traveling through the distance. Why? Because there is no medium. Okay, so sound travels in the form of waves, in the form of oscillations. Okay, in the form of vibrations, in the form of oscillations. Now when sound travels, now here you may see this is the source of sound. This sound is a object or substance. It is a tuning fork. It is an object which produces sound. When the sound is produced by a source, then what will happen? The particles in between that object and our ears, okay, the particles in between that source and our ears, they will have a particular amount of energy. In one vibration there is one oscillation. Okay, that means there is one compression and there is one rarefaction. Okay, rarefaction or rarefaction. There is one compression, one rarefaction. Now compression is a condition of high density where the particles are near to each other. Okay, now if they are pushed, they will come near to each other. Now after that it is not pushed, so it will become away from each other. So the sound travels in the form of compressions and rarefactions. Now when I am talking, the particles in front of my mouth, they are having an energy and they come near to each other. That is said to be compression. Okay, now when there is a pause, there is an unseen pause when I am talking, which we cannot make out. Okay, now that distance, at that distance when there is no energy, the particles will become away from each other. That is said to be a rarefaction. Again, when the next word comes, the next sound comes, next swar, okay, the next letter comes, then again there is a compression. At that time that compression and rarefaction has moved forward. Okay, so the first word which I had talked, it will go in front and the other words will be one by one before. So after that, so it is alternate bands of compressions and rarefactions. Compression is a high density region and rarefaction is a low density region. So this is about compressions and rarefaction. So sound travels in the form of alternate bands of compressions and rarefactions. The definition is given in the textbook. The sound waves give rise to a chain of compression and rarefaction in the medium. What is compression? It is a place of higher density. What is rarefaction? It is a place of lower density. Okay. Now, as the particles, it is moving in the form of compressions and rarefactions. But it is not that the particle here is reaching here. Okay. The particles are just oscillating at its position. If the particles are oscillating parallel to the direction, okay, if the sound is traveling in this direction and the particle is oscillating like this, then it is said to be a longitudinal wave. So sound is a longitudinal wave in which the particles oscillate parallel to the direction of propagation of the wave. Next is transverse waves. In transverse waves, this is the particles. The particles move perpendicularly, okay, to the direction of propagation of wave. That means if the wave is moving in this direction, the particles will move like this, okay. That is transverse wave. Now we'll see the definition in the textbook. The particles of the medium oscillate about their central or mean positions in a direction parallel to the direction of propagation of wave. Such waves are called as longitudinal waves. On the other hand, in the waves created by dropping a stone in still water, the particles of water oscillate up and down. You might have seen that the particles, the waves appear to move up and down. The particles appear to move up and down. If you put a piece of paper onto that waves, then you may see the piece of paper will oscillate there only. It won't go from one place to another. It will move, but not at that speed, but you may see the movement of the paper will be in the up-down direction. Okay, so these oscillations are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Such waves are called as transverse waves. Now you may see the graphical representation of compressions and rarefactions. First, figure 12.1. Loudspeaker. You may see where the points are near to each other, it is given as C. C stands for compression. When the particles are away from each other, it is a rarefaction, and sound travels in alternate bands of compressions and rarefactions. Next figure, you may see they have shown in the form of stripes, again compression and rarefaction. Now when you represent graphically, you may see I have shown it here. This y-axis, it is the axis of density of pressure, okay, density or pressure, okay. High pressure is compression, low pressure is rarefaction, and this is taken as the x-axis, and this is the average density or pressure. This is the graph of average, this is the line of average density or pressure. Now when the pressure is above the average density, then it is said to be a compression. So the upward bump will be the compression, and the lower bump will be the rarefaction. Okay, so this is about compression and rarefactions, and it is shown in the form of compressions and rarefactions. Now on this graph, there are some properties of the sound wave which has to be learned. The first property is of wavelength. Now what is wavelength? The distance between two consecutive compressions, okay. The distance between two consecutive compressions is called as wavelength. It is denoted by lambda. It is denoted by lambda. Its unit is meter. These are objective questions, okay. What is the unit of wavelength? The unit of wavelength is meter. It is denoted by lambda. So what is wavelength? It is the distance between two consecutive compressions or two consecutive rarefactions. Why two consecutive? Because it makes one oscillation. And what is one oscillation? One oscillation means one compression and one rarefaction, okay. Now the next is frequency. What is frequency? The number of oscillations in 1 second. Okay, so if this is the wave, the time by which you are counting 1, that means 1 second, 1. The number of oscillations in 1 second, that is said to be frequency. It is denoted by the letter nu. This is the symbol, or nu or nu. Okay, that is frequency. So what is frequency? Frequency is the number of oscillations in 1 second. Next is amplitude. Okay, now the compressions, okay, it go up to a particular height. Okay, the maximum height which is it is reaching. Okay, so if this is the bump, the particular height which is reaching, the maximum height, that is called as amplitude. Okay, so what is amplitude? It is the maximum value of pressure or density. The maximum value of pressure or density, it is called as amplitude. It is denoted by the letter A, capital A. That is about amplitude. Next is time period. Time period is the time taken for one oscillation. Okay, one oscillation. The time taken for one oscillation is said to be time period. It is denoted by the letter T. Next is pitch. There are two types of pitch, high pitch and low pitch. High pitch means the frequency is more and low pitch means the frequency is less. I repeat, high pitch means the frequency is more and low pitch means the frequency is less. These are the terms which you have to learn. The definitions could be asked. Okay, first is wavelength, second is frequency, third is amplitude, fourth is time period, next is pitch. Okay, now we may move on to page number 128. There are some research questions. How are the frequencies of notes, that is Sarigama Padani, related to each other? This has been given, the answer has been given in the notes. Okay, now what is the main difference between frequencies of the voice of a man and that of a woman? Okay, the man's voice is at a low pitch and woman's voice is at a high pitch. Now what do you mean by that? The frequency of sound of a female is more compared to that of the frequency of sound of a male. Okay, this is a very important point which you have to note. Now, so high pitch and low pitch, the amplitude denotes the loudness of a sound. Okay, the more the amplitude, more loud will be the sound. Now we may move on to the next page. Page number 129, velocity of sound. In that page, on that page, first there is a, try this question. In that case, there is an iron pipe. There are two people. Once you have to make sound when the medium is air. In the other condition, you have to make sound when the medium is a pipe, a solid pipe. Now, you may note that the sound produced through a solid medium is more compared to that of sound produced through a gaseous medium. Okay, we might have not experienced this because we are able to hear immediately as we talk. Okay, because the speed is that much. Okay, but the speed of sound in a solid is more compared to that of speed of sound in a liquid. Okay, and speed of sound in a liquid is more compared to that of the speed of sound in a gas. Why? Because the particles in gas are little far away from each other compared to that of liquid, and in solids they are very near to each other, so the energy is immediately passed. So we can think as in that way. Now the next topic is velocity of a sound wave. Velocity of a sound wave. The definition is there on page number 129, the bold lettered statement. It is a very important question. How will you define velocity of a sound wave? The distance covered by a point on the wave in unit time. The distance covered by a point on the wave in unit time is called as velocity of the sound wave. Okay. For example, the point of higher density or the point of lower density. That means how much distance it is traveling in unit time. It depends upon the frequency. Now there is a derivation here. It is a very important derivation. I think the only derivation which you are having in this term, velocity is equal to distance upon time. Okay, velocity is equal to distance upon time. Distance means wavelength in this case, in case of sound. Okay, what is the distance between two compressions? Two consecutive compressions, it is taken as wavelength. So instead of distance I have written wavelength, and time is same as time period. What is time period? It is the time taken for one oscillation. So V is equal to wavelength into 1 upon time period. This time period is the denominator. I have separated it. Okay, I have separated it a little bit. So it will become V is equal to wavelength into 1 upon time period. Okay, but we know that 1 upon time period is equal to nu, that is frequency. Now this is a relation which have been given directly. Okay, so 1 upon t is equal to frequency. So instead of this 1 upon t, I can write frequency. So the equation becomes velocity is equal to wavelength into frequency. Okay, so the equation becomes velocity is equal to wavelength into frequency. This is the only equation you are having in this chapter. You are having numericals based on this equation. You may mark this in your textbook itself. It is a very important objective question also. Okay, now the next paragraph, the last point which has to be underlined. The velocity is highest in solids and least in gases. It increases with an increase in temperature of the medium. So as the temperature increases, okay, as the temperature increases, the velocity of sound also increases. Towards the right, they have given a table to show the velocity of sound in different medium at a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. They have mentioned that particular temperature. Okay, you could be getting questions. Okay, the velocity of sound in air at 25 degrees Celsius is 346 meter per second. You may underline especially air. Now you may see in gas it is less, in liquids it is more than that, and in solids it is greater than that. Okay, so the velocity is least in gases, moderate in liquids, and high in solids. You may mark this much in your textbook. Now the next is physical factors which affects the velocity of sound. The physical factors which affects the velocity of sound in a gaseous medium. The velocity of sound in a gaseous medium depends on physical conditions like temperature, density, and molecular weight of the gas which is present. Okay, so first we will see about temperature. The velocity of sound is directly proportional to root of temperature of that particular gas. Okay, more the temperature, more will be the velocity, as it is directly proportional. The second is density of that particular gas. Okay, velocity of sound is inversely proportional to the root of density of the gas. Okay, so more the density, less will be the velocity of sound. You know that inversely proportional means if one is increasing, other will decrease. Directly proportional means if one is increasing, other will also increase. This is the basic thing that you may keep in your mind. So here, as the temperature increases, the velocity of sound also increases. As the density increases, the velocity of sound decreases. Similarly, the molecular weight, as the molecular weight of that particular gas increases, the velocity of sound decreases. But what you have to write, V is directly proportional to root of T. V is proportional to 1 upon root of rho. This is called as rho, RHO, rho. Okay, RHO, rho denotes density, and V is proportional to 1 upon root of M. The M stand for molecular weight. Now there are some relations given in the textbook, page number 130. under temperature, the velocity of sound is directly proportional to the square root of the temperature of the medium. This much you are supposed to write compulsorily, but those who are able to remember the next statement also, you may write the next statement also, okay? But what is the basic statement which you have to write? The velocity of sound is directly proportional to the square root of the temperature of the medium, and below that you have to write V is proportional to square root of T. It is not enough if you just write the statement, or if you just write the symbol. You have to write the statement and the symbol. It is a 3-mark question. This means that increasing the temperature 4 times doubles the velocity. Okay, if you make this 4 times, the velocity will be doubled. Similarly, the velocity of sound is inversely proportional to the square root of density. Thus, increasing the density 4 times reduces the velocity to half its value. If you increase this 4 times, it will become half. Okay, root of 4 will become 1 upon 2. So this will become half. Okay, next is the velocity of sound is inversely proportional to the square root of molecular weight of the gas. Thus, increasing the molecular weight 4 times reduces the velocity to half its value. This much you have to write if you are having a question on physical factors, okay, on which the velocity of sound in a gaseous medium depends upon. Okay, it is a 3-mark question. Below that there is a question, think question. In some schools the question is not solved, but it is asked. Okay, the molecular weight of oxygen gas O2 is 32, while that of hydrogen gas is 2. Prove that under the same physical conditions, the velocity of sound in hydrogen is 4 times that in oxygen. You have to prove it. What is been given? What has been given? It has been given that molecular weight of oxygen is 32, okay, and molecular weight of hydrogen is 2. Molecular weight of oxygen is taken as m1. Molecular weight of hydrogen is taken as m2. We know that V is proportional to 1 upon root of m. Let V1 be the velocity of sound in O2. Okay, because here we have taken m1 as O2, so V1 should be equal to O2. So V2 velocity of sound in H2. We know that V is proportional to 1 upon root of m. So V1 will be proportional to 1 upon root of m1, and V2 will be proportional to 1 upon root of m2. Now taking V1 upon V2. Now if we take V1 upon V2, it will be 1 upon root of m1 divided by upon 1 upon root of m2. You have to take the reciprocal. Therefore V1 upon V2 is equal to 1 upon root of m1 into the reciprocal root of m2 upon 1, which will become root of m2 upon root of m1. So it becomes V1 upon V2 is equal to m2 is 2. So I have taken here 2, and m1 is 32. So I have taken 32. It will become root of 2 upon root of 32. That is same as root of 2 upon 32. By cancelling it by 2, it will become 1 upon 16. So V1 upon V2 is equal to root of 1 upon 16. Root of 1 is 1. Root of 16 is 4. So it will become V1 upon V2 is equal to 1 upon 4. By cross multiplication, you will get V2 is equal to 4 V1. That is velocity of sound in H2 is equal to 4 V1. That is 4 into velocity of sound in O2. Hence proved. You may copy this in your notebook now itself. It has not been given in the notes. Okay. Now the next is about audible sound. Audible sound means the which we are able to hear, which are audible to us. Now the frequency is measured in hertz. Frequency is measured in hertz. There are some types of frequency which we cannot hear. Okay, we are able to hear the sound in between the frequency 20 hertz and 20,000 hertz. Okay, it is in between 20 hertz and 20,000 hertz. Okay, Now what is hertz? Hertz is the unit of frequency. The sound which is having frequency less than 20 hertz, it is called as infrasound, and the sound which is having frequency more than 20,000 hertz or 20 kilohertz, it is called as ultrasound. Okay. Now some examples of animals, or where we can hear where the infrasound is produced and who can produce ultrasound. Infrasound is produced. The sound produced by the pendulum, we cannot hear the sound produced by a pendulum, but that sound is an infrasound. That means it is having a frequency of less than 20 hertz. The vibrations of the earth's crust, we are not able to hear the vibrations of the earth's crust also, but it is continuously moving or vibrating. Those vibrations are producing infrasound. Now dog, mouse, bat, dolphins, these are some animals which can hear infrasound also. But what is the sound which is audible to us? It is in between 20 hertz and 20,000 hertz or 25 kilohertz. Ultrasound is the sound above 20 kilohertz. Bats, mice, dolphins, they are able to produce ultrasound. Infants and children less than 5 years, they can hear up to 25 kilohertz. They are having the ability to hear up to 25 kilohertz. Okay. Now we may move on to a box which has been given on page number 130. It is a peep into the past, which based on which the experiment which was done by Italian scientist Spallanzani, he proved that the bats, okay, fly with the help of producing sounds. They are able to fly in night, not because their eyes they can see in dark, but they are able to produce some sound. Okay, they are able to produce sound waves which fall on the obstacle which is in its front, and it comes back. It is able to hear that sound, and as soon as it hears that sound, it changes its path. You may see the second paragraph. The ultrasonic sound produced by bats gets reflected on hitting an obstacle. This reflected sound is received by their ears, and they can locate the obstacle and estimate its distance even in the dark. This is a very important give reason which is asked. Now we may move on to the last topic for today, that is uses of ultrasound. The first, it is a very important question, minimum 4 you have to learn. Okay, for communication between ships at the sea, to join plastic surfaces together, ultrasound is used to join plastic surfaces together. To sterilize liquids like milk by killing the bacteria in it so that the milk keeps for a longer duration. To kill the microorganisms in milk, which sound is used? Ultrasound is used. Echocardiography, also known as ECG, which studies heartbeats, is based on ultrasonic sound waves, that is sonography technology. To obtain images of internal organs of human body, that is sonography. In industry, to clean intricate, that means very the parts which we cannot reach easily, intricate parts of machines where hands cannot reach. Okay, to locate the cracks and faults in the metal blocks. So these are the uses of ultrasound. Okay, you have to learn minimum 4 uses. You may learn all the points, but this could be asked as a 2-mark question or a 3-mark question. Okay, now this is for today. So today we learned about the different terms. The definitions of those terms are very, very important. Then we studied that the velocity of sound wave is maximum in solids and least in gases. Then we studied about the physical factors on which the velocity of sound wave in a gaseous medium depends upon. Okay, and then we studied about audible sound, infrasound, ultrasound, and uses of ultrasound. You may go through the textbook. If you are having any doubt, you may ask. Thank you.